jumped ahead a little bit. I've taken the air purifier out of the box because it's quite a cumbersome box. It does come with these big straps on it to actually get it out of the box, which is great. We all know how hard it is to get big items out of the box. Okay, so we're just going to slowly unpack it and we'll go through. So it comes with the box of accessories. It comes with another tube so you can go in and then exhaust out. But the whole purpose of this to me is to use it with all the filters. I'm not going to be using an exhaust out from it to take it out a window or something like that. I'm hoping that these filters are going to block all that. So we'll just slowly start unpacking it. But obviously it does come with the accessories. It comes with a Bluetooth dongle, which does work with the M1. I believe some of the other machines, some of them it doesn't actually work with. It's got a few different adapters. I did have a look, and yes, we do require to use the exhaust port, what comes with the M1, but you have to change the nozzle to fit the air purifier. So let's go ahead and unpack it, and yeah. Okay. I'll just get a knife out of here. Super tough on the tape. Okay, let's get this here. We'll start with the filters first. We'll unpack all these individually. We'll move this away. And the filter. Might get my knife again, it's easier. So all of these are individually numbered from 5 all the way to 1, and then up the top you do have some other filters, which these you have to unscrew it, but you can actually clean these filters by just washing them. So though you do need a Phillips to unscrew these 6 bolts, you pull these out and you just wash them with water. Okay. I have to admit, the more I'm unpacking all this, I'm getting more and more excited to actually use the machine. I have been looking and having a look at a few of the tutorials from XTOOL. I find that they're very informative and very helpful. Okay, so we've got all those done, and we'll place them all back. So basically there's nothing else you have to do, but just obviously keep these in the order, watch how they came. They've all got quite a good seal on the outside, so even when you put them in, you can actually feel that it's up quite tight on those seals. Okay, so that's basically, oh, this one's a bit tight to get in, so we might pull this out and then put this in. Because that felt really, really tight then, which is a good thing, because obviously you want everything to seal. You don't want anything escaping through the outside. So once we got it to that, it's basically we've got the dongle which goes into a port on the back here, and obviously the power. We'll hook that up and then connect it. We'll also unpack our air assist, and then what we'll do, once I've gone through this and explain what everything is, then I'll set it up with the machine and we'll go through it, parts on the machine. So with the air assist, it comes obviously with the delivery tube, comes with its own power cord which plugs into the back of the machine. It comes with air assist, obviously because it's a compressor inside. It's very well manufactured. The filter sits inside. You actually get another 2 of these filters as spares. But because it is a compressor, so it's actually going to move, and it's got these little rubber grommets on the bottom, and they're actually movable, so it'll keep the noise down considerably. I wish big industrial compressors sort of had the similar type thing, because obviously it'll dampen a bit of the noise. So it's obviously got the instructions. And then the other thing what we will have to connect is the safety set. Now this obviously is for anything, if there's any fire happening in the machine, that I'd say it auto detects, and it will extinguish the fire. It has these little canisters. Obviously they go inside this machine. We'll have a look at this later and more in depth when I'm actually installing it. And then obviously what's in here, that'll actually suppress the fire. Don't know how long one of these is. It might empty the whole thing, I'm not quite sure, but we will find out together. So I'll pause it there, and I'll start setting it up on the machine, and see you soon. Okay, I did forget that I have installed the riser on the machine. The riser actually comes with the honeycomb, and with the honeycomb it's actually got these little magnetic clips which actually hold your material down while you're lasering, and they just sit in these little holes. They're quite powerful little magnets. You've obviously got 3 different levels depending on the thickness of the material what you're working with. You would adjust it accordingly. There's a scale on the side here which actually lets you know. It also has like a little compartment on the front here which you can put your little attachments and so forth. The one thing I did notice, I'll switch over to a camera above us. What I found was these little screws, which are quite small. They were actually loose on the side, but it is magnetic on this plate. which these actually screws are actually meant to be screwed down onto the bed. So if they are in the bed, obviously you unscrew these, you put them in these raised parts, which are actually magnetic, so it just sticks in. Then you would lift that out, watching that you don't hit your laser. You remove that, and then you'd bring up your honeycomb. But while I'm actually here, I've just noticed there is a bit of plastic on the bottom here. We'll get rid of that. I don't think we need that on there. Bit of that done. And you can just put this into whatever your desired height is. I'd say the plate could just go back underneath. Does it fit? No, it doesn't. So you can't do that. No. So obviously you keep that out. Yeah, and basically away you go. I'll go back to installing all these parts and then I'll see you soon. So there's a few more accessories. We've installed the air assist and I've installed the fire suppressant. We've now got the air purifier up and running. The little dongle on the back of, which I thought it went on the back of the air purifier, it actually goes on the back of the machine. And then that communicates to the air purifier, obviously, to adjust any settings which it requires. So look, I'm just going to go through the last few accessories we've got. So this one's the mini press. So we'll just take this out. So we've got the little mini press. Obviously that's for little small transfers. We've also got, let's have a look, shall we? We'll open up the actual press itself. So let's put these aside. Oh, and that's got another box within a box. Look, you cannot at any time with XTOOL, their packaging is superb. Everything is well packed. Clearly nothing's ever going to get damaged. It's pretty well, I'm so impressed with it. Like, this is another example of another item which is I'm just so impressed with their packaging. It's outstanding. So you've got the controller. The only problem with this whole bundle, there's so much to it, which I never realised that there was so much in this bundle. For us to unpack and go through. So you've certainly got a lot of learning to do with all this. So I hope you all will hang around while I learn it, and hopefully you'll learn something as well. And in between, hopefully we can actually make some money. So that's that. So that just basically comes with the controller, the iron, and a cradle for it to sit in. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to have enough room behind me for all this. So, instruction manual. Got 2 handles. There may be some assembly required on this one. Oh, yep, there's definitely some assembly required on this one. We've got some M4 16mm. You've got some M5s 14mm and some M5s 12mm by the look of it. Plus you got your Allen keys. So I might stop there. I'll put it together and I'll see you soon. Okay, so just put it all together. It didn't really need that much. There was 4 screws on the base. There's actually 2 in the bottom of the head here and 2 in the feet. It clearly shows on there what sizes to use, so please refer to the sizes on your packets. You actually have 1 spare for each size, which is great. Like usually in products you get these days, you only get the 1. So I'll put some power on it and get it in place and I'll see you shortly. Hi, welcome back. I've done a little bit more research on preparing the O2 safety fire extinguisher. So what you got to do, you got to basically, this canister comes apart, you squeeze it and then pull it apart. It then says load the O2 canisters. Which we'll do. It does make reference to, there's a little switch on the back which is in safe mode, and then if you've got to pull that switch up to go into work mode. And it also says not to put this on power until everything's connected, just in case you press the front button, which is basically a fire, it's like a button for the fire extinguisher, which obviously we don't want to do that and lose our gas. So I'll connect this back up. There's our power, but we'll put the pipe in first. We just got to tangle with all the others. And just place that in, put that in, nice and firm. Place the power in, and look, my finger, basically, it's in work mode at the moment. So if I would accidentally hit that front button, I could possibly. Now the green light's flashing. It does say that it's going to do that. You press this and it should go solid. I don't know if we've got to turn the machine on. No, and it's not doing that. So I've had to play around with it. So what I did, I actually pulled the little switch back down where the green light went off, and then I put it back up. It was flashing, then I pressed the button and now it's a solid green light, which that's what it's supposed to be. So that's that. So that's all up and running. Obviously we've got everything connected. So the only other thing what we need to just sort of go through is this rotary attachment. Now with this rotary attachment, I'd like to point out with with this attachment, make sure you keep all the leads, because it actually works on all the different laser machines. And so I've been told, once you get into this, you'll continue to try to expand. If that is the case and we are making money, then yeah, I suppose we'll be doing the same. So it's really important that you do keep all the cables. It comes with like a little booklet, like a cheat sheet, and it says like the M1, the P2, a 1 cable, the D1 and the D1 Pro is another cable. Then it's got the F1 and the S1 that uses this other cable. It doesn't mention the M1 Ultra, which actually is this cable, which is the F1 S1. So look, everything's always well packaged when you get anything from XTOOL. It's obviously got the rollers. Now these are the cables I'm talking about. So this is the cable what we're going to be using in the Ultra. It also, I should make a point too, on that fire system, there are other fire systems what you can buy through XTOOLs which come with other accessories, but because this one's actually specifically been purchased with the Ultra, the Ultra's already got the cameras actually inside it already installed. Other ones what you can get with that same fire system, it comes with the cameras, which the cameras are used to trigger if there is a flame. So yeah, just be mindful of that. Depending on what model machine you've got, you may have to adjust that, and depending on the size of it. So I heard that if it's without the extender, it's possibly you can set it off with just 2 canisters, but like as a whole, it probably says like 3, but you just have the 4. If it's going to go on, if it's going to catch on fire inside that, you want it to be able to get it, to extinguish it. So going back to the tumbler here, so all your parts, it's just depending on what you're going to be doing, there is a little bit of assembly to put it all together. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to store this probably in its case. Look, I've got some drawers behind here which this will all turn into here, and then we've also got the press which I'm going to put on another table. So I'm going to try to keep it all within, so we don't lose any of these parts. So I'm going to put that aside, but we will go through, obviously, it's got the accessories in here as well. Within the accessories, there's all your connections, all your connecting pieces, your grips. It's got a measuring tape. It's even got in here, this is for like if you're doing rings or things like that, you want to engrave, and it's got a little level inside here. So look, I'm gonna probably just keep it in the drawer in these foam cutouts, because at least then I know that that's all apart, and I'm just going to keep it like that. Obviously I'll get rid of the boxes, get rid of that one, but I will keep those and I'll put them in the drawer like that. One, I'm a bit of a, look, even with all my tools on the farm here, if anyone goes into my tool tray, all my screwdrivers, everything are all laid in proper inserts. So I can just look at one glance and I can say, oh, look, if something's missing, I'm going to say, oh, look, there's something missing out of this section. Just at a glance, and I find it just easier, and you don't lose any parts that way. The only thing with this, I might have to just put a bottom on it, because these are falling out of the bottom. Oh, where are they? Oh no, it's just because they're an L shape, and they actually insert in that L shape, but that's fine then. No, that's great. So I'm going to store them like that. When we get to use that later, we'll go through it. But these are the cables I'm talking about. Just make sure you do keep those, because all of these fit all XTOOL machines. Okay, I'll take a break there a minute. I'm going to put this away, and then when we come back, I'm going to go into the screen printing.